I fell down, and everybody thought I was finished. But God wasn't looking at where I fell. He was looking at whether I would get back up.
Yeah.
Sometimes
the fall
isn't the end.
Sometimes
It's where you finally learn what you're standing on.
I fell down,
But I got back up, lost my way, but I still had trust.
hit the ground.
Thought my story was done, then grace reached down and reminded me who I was.
I fell down,
But I didn't stay there.
I fell down,
And found God waiting there. Yeah. I remember the moment everything changed. One decision, one mistake, one conversation that turned my whole world upside down. People started talking, some disappeared, some judged, some reminded me of who I used to be. And honestly, I couldn't argue, I had made mistakes. I went home, closed the door, sat on the floor instead of nothing. Because sometimes you don't cry when you're hurting. Sometimes you're just empty. Have you ever fallen so hard that you stopped asking, how do I fix this? And started asking, can I even come back from this? I had shame in my chest, had regret in my head, had 1,000 different voices telling me I was dead. Not literally, I'm talking about the person I was, the dreams I abandoned, the man I became because I kept running from consequences, kept blaming circumstances. But eventually you gotta look in the mirror and say, I did this.
I fell down,
But I got back up,
lost my way,
but I still had trust.
hit the ground.
Thought my story was done, then grace reached down and reminded me who I was. Some people love me until I failed and they disappeared. Funny how people celebrate your victories but suddenly become strangers when you're struggling. I used to take it personally. Now understand not everybody is assigned to every chapter. Some people are lessons, some are blessings, some are both. I know I failed. I'm not asking you to pretend I didn't. I'm asking
For the courage to stand,
after admitting I was wrong, give me another chance.
to become
The person you created me to be. Maybe forgiveness doesn't erase what happened. Maybe it gives you the strength to stop letting what happened control what happens next. The next morning I didn't feel different. Same problem, same consequences, same past. But I got up, made my bed, opened the curtains and prayed 5 minutes, that's all. Not a perfect prayer, just God help me. That was enough for that morning. One step, then another, had to learn to forgive my brother, had to learn to forgive myself. Had to stop comparing my life to somebody else. I couldn't change yesterday, couldn't rewrite every mistake, but I could wake up today and make a different choice. That's when I learned progress doesn't always
look powerful.
Sometimes progress looks like getting out of bed.
But I got back up, lost my way, but I still had trust, hit the ground.
Thought my story was done, then grace reached down and reminded me who I was. What if getting back up doesn't mean you aren't broken? What if it means you're willing to rebuild? I went back to the place where I had made some of my worst decisions. Same street, same corner, different heart. I stood there and realized the place didn't have power over me anymore. The memory was still real, but it wasn't my identity. I used to let my history tell me who I be. Now I let the one who made me tell me when I see. I have failures in the rear view, purpose in the windshield, pain inside the passenger seat, but fake behind the wheel. In every mind I drove.
Turn away. I lost myself, but mercy knew my name. I hit the bottom, thought I'd never see the sun. Then grace whispered softly, my child, you're not done.
I fell down,
But I wasn't forgotten,
I fell down.
and grace found me at the bottom. There was somebody I needed to call, didn't type the message, deleted it, typed it again, deleted it again. Pride can make you lose years you could have spent making things right. I wanted to say I'm sorry, but my ego said wait. So I waited and waited until one day there was no more later. Who would you call today if pride wasn't allowed to make the decision for you? I kept saying tomorrow, like tomorrow was guaranteed. Kept thinking I had time, down to become who I needed to be. But time doesn't negotiate and life doesn't hit rewind. Sometimes the biggest loss is the conversation left behind. I fell, not from one mistake, I fell from 1,000 little choices that I thought would never matter. I fell down, but heaven didn't turn away. I lost myself, but mercy knew my name. I hit the bottom, thought I'd never see the sun. Then grace whispered softly, my child, you're not done. I went back to my mother's house, nobody was there, but her chair was still there. I stood in the doorway and suddenly every memory hit me. Her voice, her prayers, her advice, all those times she told me, don't give up. I didn't understand how powerful those words were until I needed them. God, I know I've made mistakes, I know I've hurt people, I know I've wasted time. But if you still have a purpose for me, teach me how to stop running from it. Sometimes the words that save us later are the words somebody planted in us years before we understood them. Inside the drawer, I found something, a small piece of paper folded, oh, my mother's handwriting. 3 words, keep going, son, that's it. 3 words, but that night they felt like heaven had written them for me. I was down on the floor, but the words pulled me higher. Had a heart full of ashes, still a spark in the fire. I had lost my direction, lost my confidence too, but I remembered the prayer and what she told me to do. Don't quit, don't hide, don't run, don't die inside. Get up and keep going. I fell down, but heaven didn't turn away. I lost myself, but mercy knew my name. I hit the bottom, thought I'd never see the sun. Whoa. Then grace whispered softly, oh, my child, you're not done. What if the voice you need today is a voice you heard years ago telling you not to quit? The next day, I made a list, not a goals, not a money, not a success, just people I needed to call first. I called my brother, then an old friend, then the person I owed an apology. My hand shook before every call, but I made them because healing sometimes starts with one uncomfortable conversation. I said sorry without excuses, said I hurt you, that's the truth. Didn't blame the circumstances, didn't hide behind my youth. I can't repair every bridge, can't bring back every year, but I can stop pretending that I never caused the tears. That's growth, that's ownership, that's grace in motion. Sometimes getting back up means having the courage to apologize before you know whether you'll be forgiven. Weeks passed, I wanted to transform. I still had bad days, still had regrets, still had moments where the old version of me wanted to return. But now I knew what to do. Pray, call somebody, take a walk, tell the truth, start again. One day at a time, one